asking for the support of the Tzolk'in, and all of the Mayan elders and spirits and gods, and all the living Maya, and all the indigenous people of planet Earth. I want to make the highest quality video, the highest quality information. Thank you. Greetings. In Lakesh Alakin, I am another you, you are another me. We are one Godshiousness. And Mr. Lee, Carroll, and Kryon, and Monika, hello. I'm very happy to be doing your Mayan embodiment astrology today. I've heard you talk about 2012 winter solstice so many times, and I know that you and all woke people are aware that that date was like an entryway, and I want you to know about your Mayan astrology as seen through the lens of embodiment, which happened to me like a download one day while I was meditating, and I literally saw myself and felt myself inside the wheel of 20, which is what I will be explaining to you. I could feel my right hand being gripped and my left hand was open like this, and I was looking towards the future, and therefore thinking about the past, which I'll explain in your chart. Mayan embodiment follows the exact same system as the traditional true count indigenous Mayan calendar and the astrological system as taught by Don Alejandro Cirillo Perez Oxlage, wherein each person has 4 guides. And you are, as seen through embodiment perspective, standing on your tone, which is 12. Now, this is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 10, and 12 is 2 dots on top of that. And tone 12 is called understanding, and that means things like accomplishing, cohesion, interconnecting, architect, cartographer, the cube, and one of my favorite terms, complex stability. And just below that is your glyph, which is called Ben in the Yucatan pronunciation. So there you would be called Ka Lahun Ben. And Ben means corn, and also cane and reed and bamboo. And it is all those plants that grow vertically. And to the Maya, corn was a gift from the gods, from the heavens. And it was the most important plant in their whole culture, probably still is. And interestingly enough, their calendar, the 260-day divine Mayan Tzolk'in calendar, is also a corn planting calendar. And corn, ben, cane, reed, sugar cane, and a cane like the elders would walk around their villages and greeting all the people type of cane, is the 13th glyph out of 20. So definite connection there to the whole system. So you are tone 12 of the 13th glyph, called understanding corn. Isn't that interesting? It could also be understanding reed or cane or bamboo. And now I think you understand that corn is a gift from the gods, from the heavens to the Maya, and they also see the glyph as pillars of light. So you could be called understanding pillars of light.
And here's a little more glyph myth, or you could call it glyphology. As you see it, this horizontal line actually represents the earth, and the two pillars of light coming up from below are like pillars of light from goddess Sophia Gaia. And the two coming from the top could be seen as pillars of light from the Hunab-Ku, the one and only giver of movement and measure, the great central sun and black hole at the epicenter of the omniverse. And you, Lee, and everyone else who is born on corn, can be seen like this, connecting the pillars of light from heaven to earth.
So you could be called understanding pillars of light.
And some other qualities of corn people and days are it's connected very much to the family and the home, the physical home. Corn, cane, reed, bamboo all went into building the home and nourishing the people. So closely connected to family and the home, therefore also connected to compassion and guidance and courage. These are what it takes to grow up in the family. So what I do for my clients is combine one or two of the key words from their tone and the key code words from their glyph, and I make phrases which I call high vibration phrases. And the three that I chose for you out of the possible, let's see, there's 9 and 9, so 81 possible combinations. Here's 3. Interconnecting pillars of light. Accomplishing compassion. And guidance of complex stability. Or giving complex yet stable guidance. So those are some of the energies of your core self. Now what I'm going to describe a little bit more in the video is your 4 guide positions. And the way that works is from your position, your core self, being on 12 Ben, we count backwards in time 6 positions to get to your divine masculine guide. Counting backwards 6 steps from the 13th glyph, we come to the 7th glyph, which is the deer. The glyph looks like a hand, and it's tone 6. Counting back from 12, tone 6. That is your divine masculine guide, the balancing deer. Now, to go to your past wisdom guide, you go 2 more steps back. So from 6, we go back to 4, stabilizing. And from the 7th glyph, we go 2 more back to the serpent, stabilizing serpent. Now, from your core self glyph, we go forward into the future, which is divinely feminine, 6 more spaces. Starting at 12, that means 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting at 13, going 6 spaces forward to the 19th glyph of empowering Rainstorm is your divine feminine guide. And I'm going to tell you one incredible person who that is for each position. And then going 2 more steps forward, 5, 6, 7, and from 19, 20, 1, tone 7 of the first glyph is reflecting sunrise, is your future guide position. So, let's take a closer look at all of those.
Okay then, so for all people whose core self is tone 12, this is their tonal pattern for the 4 guides. Therefore, the order of your guides is 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that is the order in which I teach them to my clients. Past wisdom, divine feminine, divine masculine, and future vision guide. And everyone who is born on corn, this is their glyphic guiding pattern. But only you, Lee, and 1 out of every 260 people on Earth have the full understanding corn pattern. So let me see, that's about 7.7 billion divided by 260 equals 29,819,230 people have your exact same Mayan birthday. Well, it's still special. By the way, Lee, I'd like to offer an opinion about your 7 times speaking at the United Nations Society for Enlightenment and Transformation. What this represents to me is a full admission by the highest levels of international cooperative government that extraterrestrial and higher dimensional entities communicate with human beings. More proof of disclosure. And Lee and Kryon, I thought you would find it very interesting that the Mayan date for your very first visit to the UN of November 21st, 1995 was Kan Ahau, tone 4 of the Sun glyph stabilizing solar chief, which is the very same day as December 21st, 2012. Congratulations. Alright, getting back to your guides. Your past wisdom guide is tone 4 of the Serpent glyph, stabilizing Serpent, which happens to be none other than Ken Wilbur. So his vibration is part of your past. And moving across your heart chakra to your divine feminine guide, we go up 1 tone to 5, giving us empowering Rainstorm. What a wonderful surprise to learn that Malala Yousafzai is your divine feminine guide. One other quick comment, if I may, sir, is that you spoke so very much about the Mayan calendar and 2012. I'm really impressed that Kryon thought it was so very important. And again, I'm honored and humbled to be able to convey this information to you in this video. Now, sliding across your heart chakra to your right-hand man, your divine masculine guide, we go up 1 tone to 6, and to the deer glyph, who is represented in human form by Mr. Ken Carey. Quite an honor to have one of the first people to ever mention the word starseed as your divine masculine guide. But did you know that Timothy Leary actually published the world's first book with the word starseed as a title 9 years before Ken? Well, now you know. Another little tidbit I'd like to point out is that I was shown a vision that tone 6 is best represented upside down, like a rollabola. because the people who are balanced and in flow are masters, and those who aren't. All right, so our last guide for you, Lee, is tone 7 of the sunrise glyph. And this happens to be exemplified by two very special souls, Eva Marquez and Aubrey Marcus are your future vision guide. Isn't that something? So you can combine these two to think about the energies you should be creating now in your daily life to co-create the best possible future. And by combining them, you might think of it as Marcus Marquez. Not. Whoa, I can't unsee that now. Yikes.
Okay, so I hope you found that cosmically interesting, Mr. Lee Carroll, and I would like to point out that the Maya, being essentially Pleiadian in vibration, as I think you know, the Mayan calendar was downloaded from the Pleiades, believe that your soul chose this day to be born and chose this body to be born into. And obviously this was part of your spiritual DNA. Now, speaking of that, Monika, one of the most beautiful things about the Mayan calendar is it allows the combination of two people, which creates a third entity, which I call spiritual DNA. And I could not find your birthday online, so I don't know what your Mayan astrology is, and therefore I cannot do a combined spiritual DNA baby for you and Lee. So if you email me, I can do that for you. And I would also like to formally invite you both to where I live, which is in Hiroshima. I know, Lee, you've been to Tokyo, 2007, I believe, quite some time ago. And if you've only been to Tokyo, you haven't really seen Japan. And I think you can feel, like I do, that certain ceremonies need to happen here in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I would like to help facilitate that experience for you. So, again, just email me or